Good morning, Zeny.
Good morning, Ian.
How are you doing, mate?
Good, good, very good, thanks.
So sorry it's taken so long to get around to this. I know that your EP came out a month ago, but it's taken until now to get to speak to you.
Yeah, yeah,
So one of the things I really like about you is that, and really respect, is that on social media, you're not afraid to say how you're feeling. There's a lot of musicians and creative people out there that suffer from anxiety and mental health issues and things like that, but hide it. Whereas you are quite open and honest about things.
yeah, I am.
So, so do you feel that helps?
It helps, but then again, though, it's not a good thing because, well, people shouldn't really hear about, the stuff that I go through.
Hmm.
Some of them can be private, some of them can be, very personal and whatnot. And, sometimes you just can't keep it in much longer, and
Hmm.
so you just have to like blurt it out and
Hmm.
yeah.
So I think people do respect that, though.
Yeah.
You're not hiding behind it, and then people can relate to that as well.
Yeah, of course.
So, tell me about Duckburg.
This is Dubberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cartoon. Well,
So
yeah, well,
do you animate it as well as voice it?
yes, I animate and I do the voices and whatnot. I voice the character called Squire. At the minute, right now, that the series has sort of stopped. It's pretty much been axed now, because things have been very slow recently, and everyone's just doing their own thing, and so I decided to just axe it and
Mhm.
just start something new. And there was going to be another fan series of DuckTales. But basically, this is Duckburg is a fan. It's a fan series of a cartoon that was rebooted in 2017 called DuckTales. It's a Disney show, and so I thought, why not make a fan series of it? Because I've
Mhm.
always wanted to do a bit of acting on the side. Because why not? And so yeah, when this is Duckburg was axed, I was gonna make a pilot series called Squire, which is basically the main character from This Is Duckburg, but that went quite slow, and so now I'm doing another cartoon series called Cassidy,
Right.
and it's about a fox, well, two foxes, Cassidy and Gaz, and they've pretty much just live with each other in like some apartment,
Mhm.
and just yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
how did is that something that you carried on from school doing the animation and the art, and is that
Well,
something you've been doing for a while?
with drawing, yeah, I've been drawing for quite a while, and yeah.
So I've been watched a couple of the episodes on YouTube, and it's really good.
Oh yeah, nice one, thank you.
So check them out. So as I mentioned at the start, you've just released well, at the start of June, you released your EP, In My Vision.
Yeah,
How's that been received?
it's been receiving pretty good. Got quite a lot of streams, and before, well, it went up to 2,800 streams, so almost at least 3,000, but it just dropped down then to back to 1,000 again, and
Hmm.
I was just sort of worried. I was just, shaking myself with fear, like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I really want my EP to, gain as much streams
Hmm.
as I can, and with the help of PR,
Hmm.
which are fans for bands.
Hmm.
Um, Rob Hurst helped me out with like getting Better Dreams played on like radios and
Hmm.
getting written on blogs and whatnot, and it sort of gained as much streams as it can.
So I've seen that when I was looking on your Twitter, that or on there. I think it was on your no, it might have been their Twitter, but you can see when your tracks are being picked up by different radio stations and things.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm.
that's pretty good. So so I know it was Luke from Shade who produced it. How did that come about?
I went to Castlefield Bowl, and I went to go see the Lathams with my mate, and when I came back, um, I received a message from Luke, and he said to me, "Come down to the studio to record Better Dreams, and you don't have to pay; it's for free."
Mhm.
And I went there and just yeah recorded it,
Yeah.
and the whole all the magic happened.
Yeah. How did Luke hear about you first then? Is it had you dropped tapes off or anything like that or?
So basically, I was going to a music shop, which is just down the road to where his studio is.
Hmm.
And he just and I heard the band was playing in this rehearsal studio called the Black Room or something.
Hmm.
And I went outside to hear and I was like, wow, they sound great. And I waited for a bit and then Luke came out. And then that's when I just went, oh hey, you sounded great. And he was like, oh yeah, thanks, thanks.
Yeah.
And you know,
That sounds like Luke.
yeah, yeah. When I met him, yeah, I thought he seemed a little miserable. No offense, Luke, but but yeah, yeah. As we start talking a lot, we started yeah, working with each other, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was Luke that first shared Better Dreams with me to play because it's like I've done quite a lot of writing and stuff for Shade over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, and actually after this interview, there's going to be an exclusive first plate of the new Shade single as well,
oh
which
yeah,
isn't
I
coming out for a couple of weeks. So
I know what the song is. I don't want to spoil it for
yeah.
everyone, so
Well, I've actually
yeah.
got the next one and the one after that as well, but the one after that I've not allowed to play to anybody yet, or
All
not certainly not allowed
right.
to play on air. So
Hmm.
so you born and brought up in Oldham then?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was born here in Oldham and yep, grew up pretty much in the Chadderton area and I'm still living there. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So am I right to say that you're of Pakistani and Kenyan heritage? Yeah.
Yes, half Pakistani, half Kenyan, and I'm quarter Indian apparently as well. But in the middle, I'm just full British Mancunian because I was
Yeah.
born here in Oldham. So yeah.
So what music was playing around the house when you were well, I'll say when you were growing up, but when you were younger, what was the first kind of things that you remember hearing?
I remember hearing a lot of pop music. Like I grew up watching Disney Channel,
Hmm.
so I used to hear stuff like Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers. And the Jonas Brothers, I must say, they pretty much inspired me to pick up the guitar and start writing songs, and as well as have a bit of style. But I was more interested in just their songs and their guitars that they played, and yeah. Then when I started progressing even more, I was introduced to Oasis, and
Hmm.
here we are
Sorry.
now.
So who was that at school and you started hearing sort of like the more contemporary northern sounds, as it were?
Sort of, yeah. Actually, yeah, yeah. I was in school then. I was 13 when I picked up the guitar, so yeah, years later I started progressing and yeah, started hearing bands such as Oasis, the Roses, the Lars, the Beatles, etc., etc.
So, I noticed on social media you've got a lot of the people like Clint Boone and people like that from the bands have supported you, what you've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
doing.
yeah. I hung out with Clint at Limes then. Apparently it was the last night of him playing a DJ set at the place, and
Hmm.
I was very lucky enough for me and me and my best friend Ellis to go down and just meet him and sat down with him and yeah, we just talked nothing but music.
There's a top bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, sound guy.
So I think I had him on air. Christ, when was it now? It must be probably about 2 years ago, I think, or certainly 18 months ago. And
Oh
like
wow.
literally, we were supposed to chat for about half an hour, and it was like, well, then we just ended up going off on a tangent, and it lasted for a lot longer. But yeah, he's a great bloke.
Oh right.
So as a musician, as a solo artist, how do you find it getting gigs? Are there a lot of like open night slots and things like that? And are people more likely to take a chance on you because it's just you and your guitar rather than being a full band?
Well, it's very hard at the minute as I've been trying to contact many places, you know, like pubs and bars and whatnot. And I'd go into an open mic, but you know, they just sort of bore me now every now and then. You know, the only good open mic night that there is at the minute is Fox and Pine, which is in town in
Right.
Oldham. So I could go down there and just, you know, because I can get a slot there.
Hmm.
But there are people that do go down there that I don't like. So,
Right.
you know, but with gigs overall, it's a very hard thing right now, especially for a musician especially for a musician that's emerging in 2024.
Hmm.
So it's a very difficult thing. Yeah, all pubs and bars that have like landlords, managers, and pub managers, etc. They're all rude and aggressive, and I think that my opinion with these people, right? They don't take live music as serious as they think they should. That's just my opinion, you
Hmm.
know, to the live music of today. It doesn't matter if you're a young musician, either if you're in your, you know, if you're my age or if you're you know, in your 50s,
Hmm.
if you're a teenager, if you're old, etc., they'll just still drop you down like that. And
Yeah.
I just think it's really unfair.
Mm.
So
How do you, I mean, how would you approach something like Night and Day or anybody like that, the promoters for that or the bookers for that? Do they still have independent bookers for supports for different nights?
I don't think maybe like I remember going into Night and Day a couple years ago, and I just asked, you know, to speak to the manager to see if I can get a gig booked, but they just said to me, well, they passed me the email, and I've emailed them at least a few times, and nothing came back. So you'd either have to go through an agency, or I don't know, just spend as much money as you can to hire the place, and then just book a
Mm.
gig so you can get the money back, and
Oh.
that's
I'm
just
just thinking,
difficult.
have you pressed any copies of the EP on CD or is it just on streaming?
It's actually going to be pressed on CD.
Yeah.
Do you know the vinyl shop, Vinyl Revival in
Yeah.
Manchester?
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin, who I believe he owns the place.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, a fun fact actually. The cover of my EP, it was taken outside where Vinyl Revival is.
Hmm.
So that's how Colin got in contact with me, and he said to me that he wants to help me out with doing like press CD releases.
Yeah.
So get them released, you know, on physical,
Yeah.
and I chose to get it released on CD. So yeah, I'm just waiting for I'm just waiting for him to come back to me and just tell me what's the crap.
Yeah, because Colin's great. I mean, he does support a lot of young up and coming artists.
Yeah,
So,
he
well,
definitely does. Yeah,
maybe though, when you actually have a physical product that you can go and hand out to people as well, maybe that'll,
yeah, of course.
influence a few
Yeah,
people.
yeah, definitely. I'm hoping if I do get a gig, I do have some gigs coming up, but I'm
I was
hoping
going to say
yeah
you're playing at Retro next Friday on the 19th, aren't you?
yes, yeah, Friday the 19th. I'm supporting a band called Ellipsis.
So how did that come about?
Well, basically, it's all from a small record label that just started, and the they're called Mallard Records,
Right.
and George, who helped me, he just said to me, "Yeah, well, we're gonna get a gig booked, and we'll have you on as a supporting slot." And I just went, "Yeah, that's cool, sound."
Hmm. No, they're good. So
And
you're looking
yeah,
forward to that.
yeah, buzzing for it. I played retro before, for a festival with Dusty Pop called R Fest, and
Hmm.
that was 2 years ago in 2022.
Right. It's one of my friends, she used to put a night on there about, but yeah, it must be nearly 20 years ago now. But I used to do the door for her,
Oh, really?
so it wasn't very technical. It was just a case of making sure that people were wearing a wristband when they came back in after going out, really.
All right, I
But
see.
there's some cracking young bands playing at the time. But yeah, that was about 2006, 2007,
Oh man.
so long time ago now. So, what's the plan for yourself then? I mean, are you planning to just stay as a solo artist, or sort of like widening it out and putting a band around you, or?
Well, my plan, yeah, definitely stay as a solo artist, and possibly if I do get bored from it in the next upcoming years, then I might consider putting a band together. I had a band together before, back in 2021. We were called Toneside.
All
We
right.
were an indie Britpop band, but in 2022, around January time, we split now. So, um, yeah, that was the best start of my new year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I might consider getting a band together again. For future gigs and whatnot. I'm hoping to play Glastonbury,
Hmm.
hopefully around 2026, or I don't know, maybe
Hmm.
next year. We never know. And more interviews as well.
Hmm.
I'm hoping, yeah, I'm gonna be on another podcast soon. Yesterday I was I was on a podcast with Mark Speller of This Is the Music.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was yesterday. And then I got something for something coming up for with Tameside Radio. And
Nice.
that's a little secret, so I can't really tell much.
No worries.
And yeah, that's it then. And also with getting written more on blogs and whatnot, and just yeah, make a living of myself.
Yeah. So what you're saying about Glastonbury and things like that. So do you upload your tracks to the different? Because there was something on you won't possibly not seen it. It was on Twitter this morning because the BBC, one of the BBC shows was, and I'm trying to think for the life of me who does it now because it's not one of the normal. Not it's not like one of the normal shows, but um they've put a thing out this morning about uploading your tracks if you're a new artist for it. And I know a couple of friends of mine that are based over in Berlin. They've done it previously and been played on the show. And I can't think for the life of me who it is.
All
It's the
right.
show called Fresh on the Net. And I can't remember what his bloody name is who does it. Tom Robinson, the artist.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you've got a gig next Friday. What are your plans after that for the summer? Have you got anything else lined up?
Well, yeah, I've got that next Friday, the This Feeling gig,
Hmm.
and then I've got a gig in Failsworth, and well, it's a festival. I'm playing Venture Fest.
Hmm.
I've got that coming up, and then in September I'm playing a charity gig up in Groton at the Groton Pavilion, called the Breaking Barriers Showcase or
Right.
something like that, and I'm playing that. So yeah.
Cool. So you got any holidays planned or anything, or are you just writing, drawing, singing?
Well, I am writing soon. Yeah, another thing that's coming up for next year. I'm gonna release an album soon.
Hmm.
I'm also gonna release another song, another single around August, September time, and hopefully by November, December time. Fingers crossed, it gets up to the charts.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's about it really. I'm just gonna be yeah, writing and recording as well,
Hmm.
and just yeah, that's about
Oh,
it.
best of luck with it, mate. I look for, like I say, I'll be playing some of your tracks today and look forward to hearing what you do next as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, Ian.
No worries, mate. Thanks very much for your time this morning, Zanny. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, thank you too, Ian. It's a massive pleasure.
No worries. I look forward to hearing you. Like I say, I look forward to hearing you do next.
Yeah, of
All
course.
right,
Thank
mate.
you.
Cheers.